All right, guys, here we go. Instant reaction to my fantasy draft. All right, I just drafted. Instant reaction. We're gonna do this in 10 minutes here. All right, and we're gonna talk about it all season. We're gonna rack up wins. All right, I'm gonna bet on these guys. I'm gonna play in my fantasy football league for money with these guys. All right, and I got my favorite guys. All right, I got my favorite guys. We're gonna do fantasy draft. We're gonna do regular bets. We're gonna do the content here like I'm doing now. We're gonna do sports cards. We're gonna do merchandise like hats and stuff and jerseys. All right. We're gonna do video games like Madden. All right. NBA 2K. All right. That's all down the road. Anyway, tonight we're talking fantasy football. All right. So I'm gonna go through my roster real quick. I believe I got the championship winning fantasy team. It went amazing. And I'm going to go through it and just kind of tell you from top to bottom, and I'm just going to tell you kind of how I feel about it, all right? I'm going to try to remember exactly where I took the guys, so we'll go in order. I'll start with the top guy I took, and we'll just go like that all the way to the end, okay? We're already at 1:15, so we're going to make this 10 minutes, okay? So enjoy. Leave your comments, ask some questions, give me some feedback on this, all right, guys? Because, yeah, we're playing to win now, but we want to also get better and better and better, all right? So here we go. This was my team. I ended up with the 5th overall pick, all right? The 5th overall pick, all right? So I really wanted Christian McCaffrey, right? I'm a 49er fan. I really wanted him. Not everybody has him going 1, but I was going to take him 1 or 12 or 5 if he was there, all right? But my draft began. They took him 1 in my draft. It was a 49er fan, I believe. All right, anyway, I ended up with 5, pick 5. Ja'Marr Chase, that's who I got. Arguably the best fantasy player out there, all right? And he was my number 1 for a while until I went fanboy and I almost took him CMC first instead of Chase. The universe conspired to help me, and I ended up with probably the best player, being unbiased, Ja'Marr Chase. So boom, locked in with Ja'Marr Chase. Okay, number 2, ready to explode, Drake London, all right? Atlanta, he finally has a quarterback. They've been gelling there for a while. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. All right, they got an O-line. All right, so this is the year they take off. This is the year Drake London takes off. He's been putting up 1,000-yard reception years multiple times. Young guy, USC, Drake London, round 2. My receivers are looking good. All right, so because I did that, I was going to take a running back next, but because I took my guy Chase, I wanted the ultimate connection. The team I think that's going to win the Super Bowl and has the best offense, MVP right here. They're both on my team, all right? So I had to go Joe Burrow with 3. Just because I wanted that connection, one of the best connections of all time. I think they're just getting started. Like Brady, maybe they won't be what the Patriots were because they had defense and all that. That's why Brady ended up getting 6 rings with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. So that's 7, 1 more than Michael Jordan. But I think Burrow and Chase could put together, I don't know, 3 to 4 Super Bowls or something like that. So they haven't had any yet. So they went to 1 and lost. I think this year they go to 1 and win. Them or the 49ers. No, truly, the Niners, yeah, the Niners. But Chase and Burrow. Those are my guys. Pick 3, Burrow. All right, pick 4 came around. I knew I needed a running back. DeAndre Swift, 26 years old, from Georgia. All right, young guy. He's been a pretty good player. I think the Bears finally have an offense. I needed a pretty solid running back here, like a sleeper running back, but a high-end sleeper. And Swift was that guy because I think the Bears are going to be really good this year on offense. Finally, good O-line, good receivers, good quarterback, good coaching, decent defense, all right? And the running back is nice, all right? And he's my guy, DeAndre Swift. All right, so that was huge right there because I had taken receivers and a quarterback. All right, then we went to round, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, round 5, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, my guy from the Jets. All he does is put 1,000-yard receiving years together every year. I mean, last year he was for sure like a first-round fantasy pick guy. So he slid all the way to the 1, 2, keep counting, 3, 4, 5th round because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So that makes him a 5th round pick in the draft, right? So I got him there. All right, 6. I needed another back. ETN, Travis Etienne. Again, the Jaguars, it's make or break time for them. All right, it's make or break time for them. Etienne's been in the league for a bit. He's been up and down. He's a good running back from Clemson. Catches, runs. He can do it all. He's not a bad player, all right? So I believe this is a make or break year for him. I think the Jaguars will be much improved, and I think that Etienne is a solid pick right there with the 6th round pick there. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. All right, so I'm not gonna jump into where I got guys now. I'm just gonna go through the list. So we're gonna go down. That's kind of how it started, right? And I'm loving it already. All right, boom. Kyle Pitts. I got him much later. 4th overall pick. He was one of my main sleepers I researched. I knew he would be there late. I got a bunch of reserves before I got him. Kyle Pitts. Again, just like Drake London, they got Penix now, the quarterback from Washington. And that team, they got Bijan Robinson. I believe that tight end picks up some stats. I think he plays well this year. 4th overall pick in the draft. 1st round, 4th overall. Is that the highest a tight end has ever gone? They haven't given up on him. Give me Kyle Pitts at tight end. All right. Then the Texans defense, I researched them well. I knew I wanted the number 1 defense in the NFL, and that's who I got because that could be all the difference in a win or loss, 10 points, right? So I made sure that I had what I think the number 1 defense is. And if you want to check out my video on that, go to my page and you'll see that I love the Texans. I'm a 49er fan. I was only able to get 149. This is fantasy football, all right? I'm looking at my Niners as a team, not necessarily as players, although I'll do some of both some other time, but Niners are just going to be the team until I pick up maybe fantasy in the future. But I picked up our kicker. We have our kicker, Jake Moody. All right, here we go. To the reserves. All right, I'm going to fly through these, okay? Here we go. Nick Chubb. Starting running back for the Texans right now. He's back. He's supposed to be healthy, but he's number 1 on the depth chart. The Texans are a pretty good team. Nick Chubb is a pretty good player. All right. Najee Harris, new organization, getting coached by Harbaugh instead of over there in Pittsburgh where they have no offense. And Najee, not that side. Okay, Najee Harris. I wanted to see the what they were saying that they would score, but it's whatever. I think a lot of those are off anyway. So Najee Harris, 240-pound back, 6'1", big dog, Alabama, 1st round pick. I think Harbaugh's going to use him well. All right, Herbert's throwing. They got a good offense. He might break out. That's a good pickup right there for me. Kincaid, backup tight end. He could be the starter, catching balls from Josh Allen. They don't have many weapons, all right? Like some of these other teams. So Kincaid's nice from the Bills. That's tight end. All right, Trevor Lawrence. Again, like Etienne. Make or break season for them. I think 1st overall pick. I think he could have a breakout year, and he could be a good backup just in case anything happens to Burrow. All right, Joe Mixon. He's out the first 4 games, but he's a really good back. Hope he comes back. Between him, Joe Mixon and Chubb, I think one of them ends up having a good year, and that's worth it. I'll let the other one go, and we'll have 1 Pro Bowl caliber as our reserve, right? Because that's what those guys are. All right, Jalen Waddle. All right, I picked him before starters. I think Tyreek Hill takes a step back. They still got Tua. They have a great pass game. 6th overall pick in the draft from Alabama. Jalen Waddle's a beast. Tua got hurt last year. That was all. Tyreek's game fell off a little bit. Jalen Waddle's due for a huge year. I'll take him right there. And boom, 49ers defense. Oh yeah, I did get their defense. I'm a 49er fan, so I was able to get the kicker and the defense. That's cool. We'll fluctuate between the top defense, the Texans, and the Niners. Maybe we'll just pick on teams that they're playing that are maybe like the bad offenses. So we'll put the defense in depending on what offense is up that week. So we have the best chance to score as many points as we can on defense. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. We're gonna come back with more on this and a lot more. All right, but that's my fantasy football team. Stay tuned, a lot more coming, all right? Now I'm gonna get my picture for the post, all right? Let's go, baby. Let me know what you guys think, all right? Fantasy football, baby.